Today we are reviewing Life is Strange Reunion. Is it as good as its predecessors, or was this an unnecessary reunion? Let's find out on the Late Night Gamer podcast. Welcome back to the Late Night Gamer podcast. I'm your host, Welchy, and joining me tonight, as always, is my co-host, Mr. Pop Figures himself, Andy.
Hello, guys. Yeah, happy to be here. Excited to talk about, well, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Life is Strange Reunion.
As people will be able to see, we have no Stephen on the beginning of this episode. I think he's just beaten Life is Strange True Colors. He's going to be talking about that later on in the podcast. He will be joining us after Andy's review of Life is Strange Reunion. He doesn't want to be spoiled. He will be playing Reunion probably in the coming weeks after he's beat, I'm going to say Double Exposure. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
And then he'll be moving on to Reunion. So he didn't want to be spoiled, even though I don't care about spoilers, but I think, well, I'm guessing you haven't actually fully completed the game.
No, I'm about over 4 hours in from what I saw, because I looked at some walkthroughs on YouTube. Around 7 hour mark, 7.5 hour mark is
So over
a full
halfway.
walkthrough. Yeah. And the way that I sort of play games that's probably realistic to how quick it'll take me to complete it.
So I guess we should really call this a review in progress or a review so far. Obviously, your opinions may change by the end of it.
Yeah.
So there won't be major spoilers for anyone here who doesn't want major spoilers. But beware that there may be some things from previous games if you haven't played them that Andy might talk about and blah, blah, blah. So that is why Stephen's not here for this review, but he will give his thoughts on it at a later date. Until then, how you been, Andy? You said you've been watching Daredevil today. Been up to
Yeah.
anything else?
No, not today. Had sort of a chill day. Watched Daredevil, started that new horror TV show on Netflix, and then just been sort of chilling on TikTok, social media, that sort of thing. So yeah, nothing too crazy.
Cool. We've been at family today. I think I mentioned on the movie podcast. I don't know if everyone listens to both podcasts, but our bath is now out of action. Our shower's out of action. So we was at Tay's dad's, and we got to have a shower there, which was nice. And we've got a plumber coming tomorrow to hopefully help.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, and nothing's got worse so far. So it's not too bad. So that is my dilemma. But in terms of video games, I'll be talking about Resident Evil Requiem later on in the podcast. But until then, we'll start talking about Life is Strange Reunion. What date did this come out, Andy? This kind of passed me by because obviously I'm not a Life is Strange player.
I want to say like the 19th, 20th of March, maybe.
Okay, so a few weeks. What is the kind of cost for these kind of games? I don't
Maybe
know
later.
what the cost for these games is.
This was £45.
Okay. Obviously the original one, even two games were episodic in terms of not just in structure but
Yes.
also in release. They've
Yeah.
not been that since, as far as I'm aware, and this one is the same. It's all in one lump sum, you get everything at
Yeah,
one
yeah.
go.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so it's the same as Double Exposure. Yeah, they've gone away from that episode style. I'm not sure what I prefer, but yeah.
do they still have episodes within the game? As in, like, that's the end of episode one. Or is it not like that
No,
anymore? Oh, okay. Okay.
no, it just runs like one full story.
Interest. Pardon me. Interesting. Obviously developed by Deck Nine. Deck Nine, who have also made. Apparently they used to have a different name. I'll go into that in a minute. But Deck Nine made Before the Storm,
Yes,
which is before one or before
that's
two?
the prequel before number one.
Before number one. True Colors, and now obviously, Double Exposure as well, and Reunion. So they took the mantle off of Don't Nod, who made
Yeah.
one and two. Interestingly, they made the remastered collection as well. So they obviously up the graphics and whatnot.
Okay.
They've also made a game called The Expanse, a Telltale series, which is interesting, considering they're not Telltale. But anyway, and they were previously called As Idle Minds.
Oh,
and
okay.
they have history of Ratchet and Clank games.
Oh, really?
They made Ratchet Deadlocked. They made Ratchet and Clank Collection, which was like the original trilogy ported
Yeah.
onto the PS3. Um, they made a they made a game Madagascar 2.
Oh, really?
So they've been around a long
Bit random.
time. They changed names for some reason from 2014 to 2017. I don't know if there was like a they got bought
Maybe
out
a
or whatnot.
buyout or
Yeah,
yeah.
haven't gone into all the weeds, but yeah, developed by Deck Nine. Obviously, they've now got 4 or 5 games under Life is Strange under their belt. As far as I'm aware, correct
Yes.
me if I'm wrong, this is the final in the series now, or
As
supposedly.
far, yeah, supposedly it's meant to be. But whether they end up making another one further down the line,
Do
or
you
if they move on
think?
to something different, same style.
Because obviously, again, I am just going off what you two have said in the past and what I know from other podcasts. This is the same characters from one.
Yes. So Life is Strange one, you have Max, who's the main character that you play as, and then you have her best friend who you don't play as, but she's throughout the whole game,
Yeah.
Chloe. So and then you have Double Exposure, which is with Max again, and
Hmm.
Chloe isn't in Double Exposure. And then they introduce a bunch of new characters. And then in Reunion, you have Chloe returning, which isn't a secret. That's all over
It's on the front
the
cover, right?
marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have the returning characters from Double Exposure, also in this one. So this continues straight on from after Double Exposure.
Okay. But is Chloe in any other game or is she just in one?
No, so she's only in one, and that's because, and
Oh.
this will be,
Oh, okay. I can. I'm guessing something
yeah,
happens to
it's
her.
pretty, yeah, she's, that's why, like, when they announced Reunion and she was on the cover, it's like,
Got
how the
you.
fuck is she here?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's part of what the game is about with Reunion. But it also depends on your choices that you make, because at the end of one, you have a choice you basically have a choice, and for anyone that hasn't played one, this is obviously a spoiler. But you have a choice to save Chloe or to save the town that you're in. So based on your choices, I chose to save the town. So based on my choices, Chloe shouldn't exist anymore. Based on other people's choices,
She was
Chloe
still
should still be
alive. Yeah,
around and
yeah,
mentioned.
yeah.
Yeah,
Got you. So they can justify the game. Well, obviously, I don't know. It could be some other fucking bullshit going on. I'm just gonna look
yeah.
because I know I sent a picture into our Discord of the reviews for this game, or like the original. There we go, Metacritic score. Okay, that's interesting. So looking at the Open Critic now, and I don't think any of us picked this game on our
No,
fancy
because it
draft.
wasn't announced at the time when we done our draft,
Fine.
but no one picked it up once it
Either,
was
yeah,
announced. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
it was one of those risky games really in terms of scores.
That's just reminded me. We'll look at it later. I bid on something and I completely forgot
Oh,
about
did
it.
you?
I don't even know how long ago I bid on it. It could have been
Oh,
weeks ago.
that's funny because I usually check. I I don't remember you bid on anything. And the Friday just gone is the only Friday that I haven't checked. So you must have done it
It must
like
have been
last,
this
well, this
week.
week. Well, it's Monday now, but last week. Because I usually check on Fridays when I'm at work, but because we didn't have work, I just completely forgot about it. So yeah,
Ah,
I didn't actually check to see if anyone bidded
so
on anything this week. Fuck,
it looks like, yeah, I got it.
you should have it.
Yeah, I got it.
What is it?
So my list is now full. I'm the only one with a full list. I
Yeah.
bid on the unannounced Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake
Oh, okay.
because there's
Have they
there's a lot of
done
suggestions
a
that it's
rumors then, I
definitely
guess?
happening, and apparently Nintendo are fuming because the leak has happened. Um, I bid like 9 on it
Yeah,
because I was like, if anyone's going to bid on it, it's probably Jack because he's aware of
that's
it
what I was
and
gonna
he'll
say.
be thinking about it. And I bid 9, which means I've only got 41 left, and that was on purpose because Jack has
Okay.
40 left. I wanted to
So
have
you can
more
have
than
your choice.
someone.
Yeah.
um,
But that means now that if you bid on something else, you have to drop a game.
yes, and
Yeah.
currently, if everything comes out, I am fine. Like I am happy with
Yeah.
my list.
I
If
probably
they all come
wouldn't
out,
I probably would have outbid you on that, or bid on it, just because I've got Half-Life 3 unannounced basically
yes,
Tide of Annihilation hasn't got a release date yet. There's a couple of mine that are still a bit risky, so it's
Yeah.
like I can't pick up another risky game at the moment.
Yeah, it was a risk, but I also felt like it was a calculated risk because it sounds like Nintendo needs something this year,
Yeah, true.
and Ocarina of Time is a much. Anyway, this is a Life is Strange reunion review. Shouldn't be talking about this, but anyway, yeah, none of us picked up Life is Strange reunion on the draft. We didn't do it on the Metacritic predictions. I sent it into the Discord when the reviews just started dropping, and it was on an
Yes.
83 on OpenCritic.
I think it's dropped a lot, hasn't
That
it?
has now dropped.
Yeah.
So the current Life is Strange reunion on OpenCritic is 73. So
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't
it's
pick up.
dropped by 10. Would have been a low scoring one. It would have got you 3 points. On Metacritic, it is sitting at a 70.
Yeah. Not the best.
So and I know we went through this recently with Stephen, like which ones had the most. Looking at it, this is the
It could
lowest.
be the lowest.
It's the
Yeah, I was
lowest
going to say I think
rated,
it is the lowest.
other than a Nintendo Switch version of the original. I don't know. It says Arcadia Bay Collection, which could be like a couple of games combined, but I wouldn't count that when it's a Switch version of the game. In terms of
Yeah.
main full releases, it is the lowest rated on Metacritic, um, which is obviously disappointing, but obviously that doesn't really matter. More matters what you think, um, and what the fans of the series think.
Yeah.
You said you're 4 hours in of roughly a 7 to 8 hour game, so we're going to call it over halfway because I think, as you say, the way you play it, you'll be done within that seven
Yeah.
hours. Um, so obviously not a full review, but what is your thoughts? So actually, before we go into that, what's your history of Life is Strange? What have you played? What haven't you played?
So I've played Life is Strange 1. I've basically played this storyline. So Life is Strange 1, Double Exposure, and now obviously Reunion.
Okay.
I have completed the first episode of Life is Strange 2 because I thought the whole game was free, but it was just the first episode that was free. So I completed that and then didn't have the rest of the game. So I ended up sort of losing momentum with it. And then I do actually have it now, the game, but haven't obviously picked that back up.
Yep.
And I also dabbled in Before the Storm, which was obviously the sequel with where you can play as Chloe. But I've only done like the first part of that game as well. So in terms of completed Life is Strange 1 and Double Exposure, and then obviously halfway through on this one.
Okay. Well, at least you've done the ones which link in terms of story. You've done the
Yeah.
main titles. Um, okay. So with your first 4 hours of this game, how are you feeling about it? And you obviously give a score, but with the caveat that it could change.
Yeah, so far, I was sort of trying to explain the game, what the game's about without any spoilers. So basically, the you start as with Max, and she has like a event a weekend away, and she goes to this event and comes back, and something happens. So her rewind ability is back in this game. So in Life is Strange 1, you have the rewind ability where you can go rewind it, go back in time, and then choose a different option if you want to. Or sometimes you'll have to rewind it for something else to be in place for you to sort of progress the story further. Um, so that ability has returned in this game because in Double Exposure it was like a separate reality ability, so you could switch between two like different worlds
Okay.
basically. Um, so that was her ability in Double Exposure. So she's now got her rewind ability back, which I think I prefer over the two, just because I enjoyed it in number one so much. So I like that they've brought that back and gone sort of back to their original idea, I guess. So it starts off something, she returns and something's happened. Obviously, this is set on the same university campus place that Double Exposure was. So obviously, you have all the characters returning from that game. So something's happening, and then Max has to go back in time, rewind that whole weekend that she just has to try and stop this event. It's a fire, so the whole university is on fire, and she has to go back in time and try and figure out how the fire started, how to stop it, basically. So the whole game is her investigating that. But then also you have Chloe who's returned, and at the start of the game you can choose. You have a set of options that you can choose from. So I tried to stick to the choices that I made in Life is Strange 1 and Double Exposure. So it'll come up like, did Chloe die? in the first game, or did she live? And then you have like two romantic interests from double exposure, and it's like, did you hook up with Amanda? Did you hook up with Vin? So it makes you choose those choices before the game starts.
Hmm.
I tried to stick to what actually happened in my games as much as I could.
Yeah.
Although I did say initially in double exposure, I didn't have a romantic interest with Amanda, not for lack of trying the game. I just
Couldn't
obviously
get
made
it.
the wrong choice.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I chose to have a romantic interest with her, friends with Chloe, friends with Finn. Chloe died in the first game for me, and that's what I chose. So I stuck with that. Um, so it'll be interesting to hear from someone else's perspective if they've chose that Chloe lived in the first game, because I don't know then if that changes the story.
Hmm.
Um, because obviously when Chloe turns up in Reunion, Max as a character thinks that she's dead, like she shouldn't be there. So something that happened in double exposure causes like all of this. So and I haven't, it's not fully worked out yet in my story. Obviously, that's what we're trying to resolve and sort of figure out with Max and other characters. But yeah, so the story is you're trying to figure out why Chloe's there. You're trying to stop the fire from happening. So you're going around the campus investigating, trying to find leads. And there's another character called Loretta, I want to say her name is, and you're sort of working with her because she's a podcaster who's
Ah.
trying to undiscover the secrets of Abraxas, which is like the campus's secret society sort of thing.
Hmm.
So she's trying to undig secrets on there, and Max is also trying to sort of work with Loretta to get her leads to help with, is it linked to the fire that's happened, basically. So that's sort of the general story of it. For me, I think the game, and I don't know if it's just because I haven't been gaming a lot recently, but I feel like there's a lot of dialogue in this game, and I think it starts off a bit slow. Um, I feel like they're trying to force the rewind ability too much for things that aren't just things that I don't find important. So it's like, oh, you'll have a conversation with someone to find out what their interests are. Like you're trying to find out information on something, so you'll chat to them, and they can give you the cold shoulder because you haven't said what you wanted them to say. But then you rewind time, and then you know what they're interested in. So you'll rewind time, and then when you talk to them, you start with the hobby that they're interested in, for example. So then all of a sudden they like you and start to open up more. So I feel like they're forcing you to reuse the rewind ability for a lot of the dialogue, and for me for the start it just feels a bit too repetitive. Um, I'm trying to. You start off as Max, obviously. I'm not sure how long it is into the game where Chloe comes into it, but obviously there's a part where Chloe does come into the game, and from that point onwards, I feel that's where it starts to get a bit more interesting, um, because then obviously you're like, what the fuck? How is she here? And trying to figure all of that stuff out. So from that point onwards, it does start to pick up a bit more. Um, this is going to be a slight spoiler, probably, because I don't know if this is mentioned in the marketing and stuff. So anyone listening, skip 10 seconds ahead. You can play as Chloe as well. You get to play as Chloe. So
Okay. That was one of
when
my
it gets to,
questions because from what it looks like from the marketing, I've not seen
yeah,
trailers or much, but even just the front cover, I kind of assumed maybe this is one of those games where either you play the whole game as either or, and then you do a whole another replay as that character, or you can
yeah,
jump between.
yeah. So it's very much the story. Certain parts in the story you switch between the two, so you don't get to choose who you're playing as.
Okay,
There'll be a part in the story where you're playing as Max. It then goes
fine.
to if there. I feel like if there was like chapters or like episodes in this game, it'll be like the next chapter you then play as Chloe. Although so far the majority of the game has been mostly played as Max, whereas like the parts with Chloe are very like small intervals in between.
Yep.
And I think I'm enjoying the moments with Chloe more, which I usually find with certain games you have this sort of
Yep.
struggle, don't you? Whereas you might start to like one character more than the other.
Does she
Even
have
though Chloe
powers?
doesn't. No, she. Well, at the moment she doesn't. I don't know if
And you
she.
still prefer that?
Yeah, because at the moment with Max's ability, I don't feel like it's being utilized in the right way.
Properly,
It's
yeah.
just used to like make better dialogue and stuff. So yeah, it's tricky. But I feel because you've got all the weird stuff going on with Chloe,
Hmm.
I'm preferring when I'm her
Her
because it's adding
story.
that mysterious,
Yeah.
yeah, that her story, the mysterious of her being there. She's just as confused as you are in terms of why she's there.
Yeah.
Um, I think that's why I'm liking that part more. But those, like I said, those are very like small moments in the game so far. I don't know if I get to, as you get towards the end, whether you get to play as more of Chloe. I hope you do. Although I know there's two, I looked at the trophies and I know there's two different endings. I can't remember what they said now, but you do have to complete this game twice to get the platinum.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I can't remember what the trophies are, but I'm not going to say them. But if you don't want to have the game spoiled, then don't look at the trophies, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's sort of, yeah, I'm finding it a bit slow, but it's started to pick up a bit now that I'm getting further into the game. I'm starting to get a bit more intrigued with the story. There's certain characters, if you haven't played Double Exposure, so with Double Exposure, Life is Strange opens up a world to basically like people with superpowers. So there's a character in Double Exposure who has a different ability, and they basically have a breakdown which causes like this massive storm or tornado. Something basically something happens because of their breakdown and they're losing control of their power, and that's what they think caused. And Max had to use her powers to sort of fix that and put it all back together and put these two timelines into like merge them into one. So that's what they think is why Chloe's returns, because they've merged the timelines back together. So they think that's happened everywhere. So with Chloe and Arcadia Bay,
Yeah.
they think because Max put the timelines together where she is in the university, they think that's what's happened again. Um, so you do see someone else using their power in Reunion. So it'll be interesting to see if they introduce any other new characters with sort of new powers and stuff. I thought that's where the next game was going to go because I'm pretty sure at the end of Double Exposure, the girl, she's a shapeshifter. It was her going off to find other people with superpowers, and then all of a sudden she's back in this one, and there hasn't been any talk of her going off to sort of do that. So it's a bit confusing in that sense. Um, so yeah, I'm not really sure where the story's going to go. Like you don't know why she's back yet,
Yeah.
and you're trying to figure that out as well. So you're trying to figure out who started the fire. You're trying to figure out what she's up to. You're trying to figure out what the secret society is up to, what their involvement is. So there is a lot happening. But I just feel like although there's a lot happening in that sense in terms of the story, I don't feel like we're actually doing much. I feel like we're just sort of at the moment just searching around, talking to people, trying to find leads, and it's not very. There's not a lot of action going on. I know these aren't like action games, but in terms of explosive moments, I feel like that's lacking at the moment. But I feel the game's doing that on purpose in terms of hopefully there's going to be a lot of build up to then undiscovering everything that's going on, and obviously that's part of the enjoyment of the game is sort of trying to investigate and work out exactly what is happening and yeah, trying to find out the mysterious behind all these different things.
Yeah.
So it's a tricky one. I'm hoping it picks up. If it does, obviously I'll probably rate it a bit higher. At the moment, I don't think number one's definitely my favorite. I said before I don't know whether I like the episodic episodes format or whatever this
Yeah.
format is. Um, I think I do prefer the episodes. I feel like that adds more to it. I feel like in Life is Strange 1, at the end of certain episodes, you get like cliffhangers
I
and
was
it
going to
makes you
say, is
want to
it
play the
because you
next
get those
episode.
kind of, well, I guess they are cliffhangers, especially when they were being episodic. But even if it wasn't, it's almost
Yeah,
like watching telly, and it gives you this thing. It gives you a clear point to also pause and say, "I'm going to come back and play the other part tomorrow, or whatever."
yeah,
But it gives you that those story beats where it's like, "Oh, I'm actually really excited to see where this is going now," rather than it just being this long,
yeah,
continual mystery.
yeah, exactly. I feel like it's a lot more compact and you get a lot more
Mm,
in those episodes. And then, like you say, depending on how the episode ends, it makes you then want to play the second episode like
yeah,
straight away. Whereas with this, I feel like I'm doing a lot of walking around, just press it like walking around to like bookcases and pressing A on it to read a book to get information, to find clues and hints. And although I'm pretty interested in the overall story to find out who's actually caused all of it, the build up to it and the lead up to it, I'm not enjoying all of that. So I think I would prefer if they went back to the episodes, and then yeah, if they revert back to that, I feel like I'd enjoy it a lot more because you've got the intensity in there. You're not. I don't feel like I was walking around so much. I sort of trying to look for things, and I know some people will enjoy doing that. Obviously, there's a lot of collectibles on these types of games as well, and so people I know will enjoy looking around, sort of taking photos and stuff. I intend not to do that so much. I sort of just want to know, like, focus on the story. Whereas with the episode format, I feel like you get the joy of both. Like one, you can sort of just look around and take the photos that you want to take, whatever. But if not, you can also sort of focus on the story. But whereas this is sort of limited, almost sort of open world a little bit. I
Hmm.
don't know how to explain it, but you have certain areas where obviously you can't go outside of those areas, but you then have to sort of solve and until you find the right clues and get the right information. And it doesn't point you where to go, but it's very basic stuff. It's not like overcomplicated, so it's quite easy to figure out.
Hmm.
Um, but I feel like it can get repetitive and annoying. There was one, there's one scene where basically you figure out that Safi, the shapeshifter, is pretending to be someone, and you need to figure out who she's pretending to be. And she basically has a folder, so you have to identify her by this folder that she has. But then there's like four or five different people around this area who have the same folder. You then have to interact with each one of them to try and figure out which one is her. Um, and as I sort of walked into a different area, it does this like cutscene where someone rings you, you answer the phone and call them. Um, However, I then needed to talk to someone else, and because I'd like triggered something happening, I had to rewind it to go back.
Ah,
And then when I walked back into that same area, it done the cutscene again.
ah,
It does allow you to skip it, so it's not it
okay.
doesn't force you to watch it all again. So you do have the skip option, but I feel like little things like that do bug at me because even though it still triggered the cutscene again, like, oh, okay, that's annoying.
Yeah,
Like as a character, you're already meant to know that that cutscene's happened. Like
yeah.
everyone else doesn't know, but you still know that that's already happened, sort of thing, when you rewind and stuff.
Hmm.
So it's things like that do bug at me, especially when I'm already having to go around and talk to four different people, then rewind on each one of those conversations to then go back to them to say to use like one of them's the president of the school of the university, and then there's like a protester. So you speak to him, and then he doesn't want to talk to you. So it's then like find a distraction. So you go to over to the protester and say like the president can't hear you. Like maybe you should shout a bit louder. But then you have to rewind time, then go back and speak to him again, and then the protester like will like distract him, sort of thing. So it's things like that with the dialogue. And when you have to do that multiple times using the rewind ability, that's where I'm not enjoying it as much because I don't think that's as effective as the rewind ability, the way that you used it in episode one.
Yeah.
It felt like it had more importance when you
Hmm.
used it. Um, Whereas in this game, at so far, I don't feel like it's had the same effects for me. Um, but yeah, saying that, obviously I still got over 3 hours to go. Um, I'm hoping that the story picks up. I'm hoping I get to play as Chloe more. I'm hoping we find out more about what's happening with Starfy, the shapeshifter, and obviously uncovering reasons behind the fire.
Is
Whether
it
that's going to be a good
completely out
enough
of the
story.
question that the shapeshifter is shapeshifting into Chloe?
Um,
Obviously, I know
um,
nothing, but the fact that you've already mentioned a shapeshifter, I'm thinking, could that not just be Chloe?
I don't think so. To be fair, I don't think there's been any scenes yet where they've been together. But like
Would that piss you
Chloe
off if that was like
starts.
the answer?
Um, I don't know. I don't know. I'd
Okay.
have to see how they do it.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think that is the answer because there's like Chloe and Max are trying to figure out why she's there, and they work with this character called Moses. So Moses, like the smart scientist guy. So they're working with him, and Chloe's travelled from a different area to be at the university, because in her world, she's always been alive. So to her, she just hasn't been in contact with Max for however many years.
Yeah.
So Max thinks Chloe's dead. Chloe thinks Max, they just haven't been in contact over so many years. So something happens to Chloe where she like goes into this parallel like setting where she sees what happens in double exposure with Max and Safi and the way that that ended.
Hmm.
So then she's having these like weird visions or memory, like what she thinks is memories. Um, so I don't think that's the route they're going down. But yeah, at the moment, I don't think we've actually seen Safi and Chloe together. I might be wrong. I'm trying to think if there's a moment. Oh no, yeah, no, they have. They've spoken to each other at the same time actually. So they have had a conversation. So yeah, yeah, unless there's two shapeshifters, I don't think that's the route they're going down. Um, but yeah, so there's still a lot to uncover. But at the moment, I think it's just started a bit slow. Um, Maybe if I'd just played double exposure, then I'd be enjoying this a lot more because they obviously this does follow on from straight on from double exposure.
When
But
was double
however,
exposure? Like what?
what year?
Let's have a look. Yeah.
Because I think it because we had obviously I know it's not the same people, but we had Lost Records last year, didn't we? So I think
Yeah.
it was the year before.
Yeah, it says
I don't think
24,
they released this year.
2024.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I just think about it overall. Like, I keep thinking about it more and more. Like so far, I just don't think the story's good enough. We've spoke about it on the movie side and the whole thing where they try to bring TV shows that try to bring characters back. I just think it loses. It makes the story less effective. And with Life is Strange being a fan favorite and definitely my favorite one that I've played so far, and there were so many emotional punches in that first game, and one of them was with Chloe and having to make that sacrifice and choose whether to save a whole town of people, or one person, and I know in a world with people that's got superpowers, there's probably limitless. There's probably several different ways that she can come back.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like they should have went down that route with this, especially with the way that double exposure happened.
Yeah.
I feel like now either way, whether Chloe is just here temporary, why there's this whole disaster happening, or whether she does remain permanently still alive once the game's ended, then that takes away from the first game as well for me. So I feel like they've gone down a dangerous route with it. Although it's fun to have Chloe back because she is such a good character in Life is Strange, I get people were probably hyped around that. But when you dive into it more, it's pretty like, again, and it does pretty depend on the choices that you made. Like if you chose to save the town over Chloe, then you're pretty going to be more disappointed by this game.
Hmm.
Whereas if you chose to save her, then that doesn't matter because you didn't have that emotional punch of sort of losing Chloe in the first game. So
Yeah.
maybe there's a divide
I'd
between
be
fans of that
interested to
as well.
see how different the game is, well, the story anyway, if you went the other way of saving her so she's alive anyway.
But
Um,
yeah,
See what those differences are.
yeah, yeah, it's definitely yeah. I'm curious to find out. But yeah, based on the choices I made, I just don't feel like so far the story's lacking, and I don't feel like it's going to be a good enough overall story once I've completed the game. That's the feeling that I'm getting
Well,
from
it
it.
sounds also
I
like the
feel
gameplay's not like in terms of like the mechanic of the rewind ability isn't being used as
yes,
well as it was originally either. So it's both story and gameplay we're here, which is lacking.
yeah, for me, and there might be other people that say, "Oh, yeah, that's so cool that we can use it more frequently now," because I don't feel like it was as frequent in the first game.
Hmm.
I felt like it was only used more in sort of intense moments.
Yeah.
But I feel like they should have stuck to that with this one, where I don't know. There's a one particular scene in this game where I felt it was effective. You're stuck in this basement of this building that's up for demolition, and all of a sudden you get locked in the basement, and the people turn up to destroy this building, and the alarm starts going off. So it said demolition in 20 seconds. So you basically have 20 seconds to cut the alarms. Obviously, if you fail, you just rewind it and you go back in time. But you're having to try and find the four different alarms to cut the wires to so you don't blow up. And in that moment, I felt like it was really good because I felt like I was doing it to well, save you and someone else who's stuck in this building, but also you got the added pressure of the timer going down. And even though you can rewind it and nothing's actually going to happen, it just, with all that happening in one sort of moment, it felt more important for me to use the rewind ability,
Yeah.
even though I have to, otherwise, or just reset and you go back to that moment anyway. Yeah, it just felt more important for me to use it in that scenario than in a scenario where I'm having to convince someone to do something for me or to tell me some information,
Mhm.
and you're just going back and forth with dialogue. So if there's more moments like that going ahead with the remaining sort of 3.5 hours I've got, then I'll be happy. But yeah, it depends.
It sounds a bit like, and I'm sure it's better than this, but it sounds a bit like Lost Records in the sense that, like you say, the gameplay is a bit dialogue heavy and it's a bit boring at what's happening. And, or going back to the episodic thing, these games
Yeah,
could do with having those moments where there's like a cliffhanger or a nice story beat to keep you going. Whereas in not in True Colors, in Lost Records, it was like I was just waiting for something to happen. It never came. And it's
yeah.
almost similar. I imagine this is better than Lost Records.
It's definitely a lot better than Lost
Okay.
Records, because in Lost Records, I don't remember having those. Like, there wasn't a clear plot line for me in Lost Records,
Hmm.
whereas this, some, you obviously have the fire that started and you have a clear sort of mission on what you're trying to find out and
And it's
achieve.
something that's
Whereas,
intriguing you. There was always that something. You was wondering what was happening and why you had the future people and the past people. There was something there in Lost Records.
yeah,
It was just executed horrendously.
yeah. Whereas this, I feel like it's a lot more. Well, you say that I say it's a lot more basic, but it also isn't with the Chloe side of things. So it's like
Hmm.
they've got like two different stories going on and merging it together, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I just wish that I really like Max as a character. I like Double Exposure, but with the way that Double Exposure ended with Safi, the shapeshifter, and Max with her powers, and her going out to the world to try and find people with other abilities, I feel like that would have been a better next game to go down. Even if maybe if you played as Safi and you're then searching for people with powers, I feel like that would have been a lot cooler to do. Um, yeah, at the moment, I just don't think this story, like trying to figure out why the fire started, is hooking me on. Whereas the story in Life is Strange 1, the way that they've done that in that story, there's so many different twists, and trying to figure out important moments in that game was just a lot more intense, and the story was a lot better, so I enjoyed it a lot more. So
Yeah.
at the moment, this game just isn't hitting the right spot.
Hmm.
I do like the fact the characters have returned from Double Exposure. They're quite likable. So Moses is quite a likable character. Amanda is quite a likable character. So I do like that they're in the game still. But yeah, it's just the story and the gameplay mechanics lacking a bit at the moment. But I'm hoping there's more as the game gets towards its conclusion. I'm hoping there's more intense moments with the rewind ability.
So what score are you sitting on currently?
At the moment, I think I would give it like 5 out of 10.
5. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so
Being okay on our scale.
yeah, at the moment. But I'm hoping it'll end up, and this will probably match up with the critic score, but I'm hoping it'll end around a 7 out of 10
Yeah.
as it goes towards the sort of latter stages of
And
it.
that at least means the second half has been good enough to please you and make you think, actually, you know what, this is a good game. I would recommend it to at least Life is Strange fans, maybe not to people that haven't played it like me. Um,
Yeah,
but enough there. Otherwise, if it's more of the same, you're probably going to end up on a 5, and it's not going to make
yeah.
you want to play the other
I'd,
games, is it? The ones you haven't played currently.
no, but obviously Life is Strange 2 is an episode
Completely separate
format.
stories.
So
True, true.
yeah, so it depends on obviously the feedback on those games. But
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be difficult for me to recommend this at the moment to people that aren't fans of Life is Strange. But yeah, hopefully it picks up towards the end. But yeah, I guess we'll find out.
Yes, we will, and I'm sure we'll get your full review once you've beaten it, and then, as we said, once Stephen's beaten it as well. Um, but yeah, 5 out of 10. Can't recommend it currently. It'd be interesting to see if that goes up. We are going to take a very quick break. When we return, Stephen will be with us, and we'll be talking about what else we've been playing, including Resident Evil Requiem and Life is Strange True Colors from Stephen, and maybe something from Andy. I don't know. But yeah, we'll take a quick break and see you in a minute. Welcome back to the Late Night Gamer podcast. Andy has just given his review so far of Life is Strange Reunion. And welcome to the podcast, Mr. 10 out of 10, Stephen.
Oh, yes, it's lovely to be here for the second part and looking forward to talking about what I have been playing, amongst other things.
Yes, we're going to get into what we've been playing, but before we do that, I do have a game for us to play.
Hey.
This game is pretty simple, actually very simple. It is called Who Am I? So I am going to read a description of someone, and you need to tell me who this person is. It's obviously a video game character.
Yeah, cool.
Pretty
Simple as
straightforward.
that. There's see who wins, who can get the most out of it. Both of you, hands up first for the to answer the question. Okay, who am I?
Okay.
Number 1. I jump on things for a living. I wear the same outfit every day, and I've saved Andy.
Mario.
Mario is correct. I'll finish the
Wow.
sentence. I jump on things for a living. I wear the same outfit every day, and I've saved someone more times than I can count. Which would have been the giveaway.
Yeah. As soon as you said same outfit every day. Yeah, that's Mario.
Mario, anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done. Who am I? Number 2. I don't say much. I wear green, and people constantly mistake me for someone else. Andy.
Luigi.
That is incorrect.
Oh,
I'd say no fucking
He does say stuff. He
way.
says a lot.
Yeah, true. I just thought it'd be funny.
I should have done that, to be honest. It could
Yeah.
have been a whole Mario cast. I'll read it again. Stephen, you might be able to get it. I don't say
Yeah.
much. I wear green, and people constantly mistake me for someone else.
Shit, it's the bit at the end that's throwing me off. People constantly mistake me for somebody else. And you wear green.
It's one of those ones where it's obvious when I tell you who it is.
Yeah.
Nothing's coming like to my mind immediately, and I like looking to see if there's any pop figures of games.
You won't have a pop figure
that
of this
resemble
character.
that. No. I will go with Astro. I know
It doesn't wear green.
you can customize it being green.
You can customize
technically,
it.
but I don't think it is that.
And did you have any other ideas now that you've heard it again?
No,
No.
not really. As because you said green, I was thinking the Hulk, but obviously it's more movies than games. But
Yeah, so the answer was
no.
Link
Oh, okay,
from
Zelda.
The Legend of Zelda.
Oh,
And
I would have never
people
fucking got that.
constantly mistake him. They
For
call
Zelda.
him Zelda because obviously the game's called
Yeah.
The Legend of Zelda. Whereas Zelda is the princess in this occasion.
Yeah, would have never got that anyway.
Number 3. Who am I? I have a deep voice, a tragic past, and I shout a lot while holding an axe. Andy.
Kratos.
Correct.
Steven's getting ready to say Joel from The Last of Us.
Until the axe, probably.
Until the axe bit, and then it stopped. I stopped myself from doing that because I thought he doesn't
Yeah.
wear an axe. He doesn't have an axe.
Number 4. Who am I? I risk my life chasing treasure. I make one bad Stephen.
Nathan Drake.
Ooh.
Correct.
VAR, no, I was definitely first. And
No, you weren't. I was way ahead of you, mate.
watch it back on the video.
It was close. I'll finish the sentence for everyone at home. I risk my life chasing a treasure. I make one bad decision after another, and somehow I'm still the hero of the story.
Yeah.
Nathan
Drake will dead on.
Drake. Final one, number 5. Who am I? I was raised to be an honorable warrior, but I had to abandon everything I believed in to save my people. Oh, this one stumped you both.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Yeah. Sounds like Mulan or something. But...
Oh!
Stephen.
Jim Sakai from Ghost of Tsushima?
Jin Sakai is correct. Yes, very good. You was on like Mulan,
Yeah.
obviously similar.
Yeah.
Just Japanese, isn't it, Mulan?
Yeah.
Wrong. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. That was a tougher one because it's a little bit less out there as of like Holden
Yeah,
Max
threw me
or
off.
Mario.
Yeah. As soon as I think Warrior, then having to say, I was like, oh, hang on, that sounds a lot of like the plot of Ghost of
Yeah,
Tsushima.
I
well
was
done.
thinking like The Witcher, Noah, games like that. But yeah.
Yep, that's even score 2-2. No one got the link one, which means you both got two there. Andy's going to dispute that with the VAR. We'll have to
I will.
we'll look back
You'll have
later.
to watch it back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but well done. That was good. Good little game to
Yeah,
do,
that
a
is
little
fun.
brain teaser.
I like
Okay,
those games.
so let's move on to what we have been playing. Let's get Stephen off the bench, who just joined us. We've been talking about Life is Strange already on the podcast. We might as well continue. You have now beaten True Colors.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
you obviously gave a lot of thoughts on it last week. Give us your updated thoughts and a final score.
Are we going to stick to again the 10 out of 10, or is this the day that the 10 out of 10
I have a
bit
feeling.
gets changed?
So looking, I need to open the spreadsheet. But I think you're currently on a streak of 5 10 out of 10s in a row.
Wow,
That's
that's
mental.
crazy.
It's just opening. I can confirm. Because I think it's both Life is Strange games you played, all three.
All three with Before the Storm, I
Yeah.
gave a 10, and then Resident Evil Requiem and that's
Resident Evil
4.
Requiem. It's 4 in a row. There was a break where you gave Terrifier the arcade game a 5, and then
Yeah,
two before that were a 10. So
with
six of your
OCOA
last seven,
and
6 of your last 7 have been
Force
tens.
Wow,
Unleashed.
that
They
is
have been quite incredible games that I've been playing though. So let's be fair. Sort of, I've not been playing terrible games. It's like if I was saying it to Terrify the arcade game, I'd be a bit like,
Yeah.
maybe not. So yeah, over the Easter weekend, I have finished Life is Strange: True Colors. I sort of did it in 2 playthroughs. I did episode 4 in one sitting, and then yesterday did episode 5. They were more of the shorter episodes, so the first 3 took me a bit longer to get through. And I think it's always sort of what I'm starting to realise in the first 4 Life is Strange games that I've played, that there's always twists and turns, and the best episode tends to normally fall between either episode 4 or 5. There might be some great moments in earlier episodes, but once you get to sort of the last 2 episodes, things are really starting to move and to motor. So I think all in all, this was a really, really good game. I really enjoyed it. It is definitely my least favourite out of the Life is Strange games that I've played so far. And are you going to play this? Because I know Welch, you're not too fussed about this, are you?
I'll
Or are
probably play
you?
it at some point.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Okay.
do any major spoilers, just in case.
Okay. No, that's fine. Not a problem. So I'll tread carefully on not revealing too much. Basically, so chapter 4 becomes more of a detective case to take down something. I'll leave it like that because again, I don't want to kind of go into too more. But essentially, it's becoming that you realise that something is not as it seems that you're investigating. Sort of as soon as you get past that awful role playing MMORG section, which was fucking, it was the only good bit of that. At the very end, you go into like this sort of portal, and it then turns into like full, like you're pretending to have these weapons, but it turns into like almost like a Counter Strike where you're clicking attack dash block, but with full weapons, and you see the full sort of injuries that you're sustaining in this role playing game. Oh, that bit was quite cool. Up until that point, I just, as I said last week, I wanted that bit to end as quickly as possible. The only game that I would enjoy doing that is a South Park game that is clearly taking the piss out of it. This isn't. Although I quite like the whole why they were doing this, but again, we spent way too long doing that. So basically, but after you do that, the end of episode 3 and then all of episode 4 becomes much more of an investigation that leads to a sort of revelation. And I'm doing really well actually as well here, because I am famously terrible at not thinking about twist or not picking up things. Never seen who a bad character is, which is staring me in the face. I'm pleased to confirm that for the first time in Life is Strange games so far, I correctly predicted who the bad person was. Like very, very early on. There's something that happens with Alex where essentially the police get involved. And I was sitting there thinking, how have the police kind of got involved unless somebody in this small mountain town has squealed? So I was then thinking, who could it be? And then my suspicions were on one particular character who up until this point has been lovely, has like taken you in and has been sort of like a father figure to yourself. And then basically, when you have a certain section of dialogue, I was like, "You man, there's something up with you." And episode 4 ends with a massive cliffhanger that I basically just went, I was fucking right. I knew it. So I was quite impressed by that because in any of the previous Life is Strange games, I know Andy, like you, I can't remember which one it was where you said that I think the first one wasn't it, where you correctly got
I knew who it
vibes of
was.
the art teacher. This was like a similar thing where like I didn't pick up in the early episodes, but it was only once that plot reveal happens that I was like, oh, okay, right, there's something sketchy going on. My favorite episode of this whole game was the final episode. What it does is it basically gives you the backstory of Alex's life. So her in the hospital when she's about to lose her mum. Then it takes you to her time in care, her time with her and her father. And you know at the very beginning of the game that she's gone through quite a rough deal in life. So the game shows that, but does it in a really clever way. And it sort of is one of those Life is Strange moments that I imagine resonated with a lot of people. It was, really not emotional, but it was deep and it was moving. And I already really like Alex as a character, so it gave me more of her story and allowed me to connect with her more, basically because also it's playing on the whole her psychic abilities with emotions. It was tied in really well, and you kind of go through 3. They're almost a bit like flashback sequences, but they're done in a really clever sort of way. So I was really impressed with how they did that. There is also another twist, which essentially you find out the big reason why stuff in this mountain town has happened. I didn't see that coming. So there's basically a second twist towards the end of the game that I was like, wow, and it references the flashbacks that you've just gone through. So all of that was fine. And then it leads you to a massive final confrontation with everybody, to which then it gives you, and again, this is a light spoiler, it won't make any sense when you play it. You get a choice at the end of the game to either stay where you are or leave Haven Springs. And I chose to essentially stay in Haven Springs. At the end of the game, it tells you what the majority of players do, and the majority of the players select to stay. I think it's also because of the fact that Alex is in this sort of small community-based town. She's finally got people liking her. It's kind of the first time in her life where everything feels like it's going to work out. So the idea of then moving and starting again with somebody, which again you have another choice on who Alex ends with from a relationship perspective. I just felt that it was fitting, really. And the game does a great way of showing you what would happen if you choose that, and then leaves you with the risk of if you don't. I feel like the game kind of leans you more to making her stay, but again, majority of the players selected that. And then then we hit on end credits. So I mean, I thought the ending was fitting. I also love because of the whole open world aspect. So again, there's a lot more stuff to sort of look at in Haven Springs, a lot more characters to interact with, and also it allows you to sort of choose your own path rather than following from A to B to C. So I quite like that. I think the biggest thing for me is that I just didn't get that emotional punch which I had got with Before the Storm, Life is Strange 2 and Life is Strange 1. That's not necessarily a bad thing because you don't have to be a game that's really emotional to sort of get awarded the highest scores. But I do feel that it is the difference because of how great the previous games have been. I feel like Life is Strange has really got to hit the emotional viewpoint. And again, thought the story was good. I am surprised that people regard it as the best one along with the original a little bit.
That's just on average Metacritic.
Yeah, true. But the average, and when I've been reading, the consensus is that it is the best Life is Strange
I've always
since
heard
number
good
one.
things about True Colors.
Yeah. And I suppose that it does things a little bit differently, but I mean, a lot of people say that the story is the most mature and it's grounded. Where there's been some people, I don't agree with this, but where some people have said, like particularly in Life is Strange 2, that then the story kind of loses sight of itself, and people say that this is a story that keeps focused and doesn't shy away, and doesn't also, where some characters can change from one episode to the next. Everyone is pretty consistent all the way throughout. I still didn't get the high score on that arcade mini game in Alex's room. Still annoyed me. I tried at least 3 times and couldn't get onto that lovely league. But I'm glad that there wasn't a trophy for that, because I did get the platinum. So this is now my 9th
Cool.
platinum that I now have. So we've got a platinum on every single one up to this point. I know that's going to stop with double exposure, because I'm going to have to play double exposure twice to then get that platinum, because there's one choice where you have to play the entire game and then go to do the opposite, which I think is a bit bullshit. Like, they've got the whole chapter select. Like, why can't you at the end of the game just go back to that moment and then
They want
make
you
your
to play it
change
more.
rather than?
They want you on the game.
Yeah, I know, and I will do that because I want to get the platinums in all of the Life is Strange game, and maybe True Colors, depending on how I find that experience at some
Do you mean
point.
I
Lost
will-
Records?
Yeah,
Yeah, don't
I
do
will
that.
tell you something about Reunion, Stephen, and it's not a spoiler, but it will make going. Obviously, you've got the same thing with double exposure. Like, Reunion does have 2 trophies at the end as well, where you have to play it twice. But in terms of the collectible stuff, I know you usually follow a guide through. On Reunion, you can actually change your settings, so you can see the camera icon from like any distance, so you know where all the collectibles are if you just look around for it.
Yeah, I mean, there are, when I have it as like a baseline guide. Majority of them I'm pretty good because I see everything. I only go to the guide if, like, there was, I think, one in True Colors where I didn't know where it. I felt like before I went to this next bit that I was missing one of the trophies, and because it's open world, you can then obviously explore everything to your heart's content. And it basically was this sort of collectible behind the flower shop. I did have to, otherwise I wouldn't have seen it, because you have to kind of go behind it, and then it's a little bit hidden. So I would have just kept going round and round and round. But that setting's really cool, because it just means that if the camera features they're telling me that it's collectible, happy days. A lot of them are pretty self-explanatory. The idea that I've got to play it twice, again, straight, but I'm now like 4 platinums, so now I'm committed
You're committed now.
It will really trigger me if I don't get a platinum for the last 2. But yeah, all in all, an enjoyable game, just not as good as the previous 3, but still a very, very strong piece of work.
So not a 10 out of 10 from Mr. 10 out of 10. Is it a 9?
So I was going into it at the beginning of episode 4 with an 8.5. But what episode 4 and 5 does, particularly episode 5, with the way that it does its flashbacks, and also that I quite like the second twist, I've upped it to a 9. Because I think that the last 2 episodes take it up. But again, it's nowhere near the 9.5 and 10. Like, it's got a 9 based on its last episode. Otherwise I would have probably gone to an 8.5. So it's in the lower end. You know what? Sometimes we say this is an absolutely solid 9, like a staple into that category.
It's hanging on to the 9.
This is hovering, but I'm comfortable in the end. We've given it 9 out of 10, and hopefully it means my resident horror expert can come back, because I'm now giving it 10 out of 10.
I don't know. I mean, the average review score of your last 9 games is 9.2.
That is crazy.
And that includes
Okay,
a
fair
5
enough.
in there. So it's obviously very high. But no, I'm glad you still enjoyed it. Obviously, you was definitely, from last week, less so, but it sounds like you obviously improved towards the end. Just out of pure interest, do you want to know the score Andy has given on his review so far?
I would be curious to find it. Yeah, I'm curious to know the score, because it doesn't give anything away.
Andy, I will leave it to you.
So far, I've played just over 4 hours. Obviously, got 3.5 hours to go. I've given it 5 out of 10 so far.
Whoa, 5!
And we looked online, and it is the lowest rated Life is Strange game now.
Really? Because I was playing Fortnite with our good friend James earlier, and he said that he's really, really enjoying Reunion. Like he's absolutely loving it. So are you not loving it then, Andy? Obviously, don't go to spoilers, but I'm assuming from that score that it's not hitting the mark for you.
I found it a bit slow to start with,
Okay.
so it depends how it picks up towards the end stages of the game. But yeah, I'm finding it a bit slow, and also a bit of an injustice towards the first game.
Oh.
Yeah, no more spoilers.
Oh.
They're really
Yeah.
interesting.
No, that is interesting because I've got double exposure now. I actually bought Reunion on Ferry yesterday, so that is on its way. So again, I'm going to do double exposure and then go on to Reunion. Um, I'm hoping that there's going to be sort of where it brings every character from like True Colors from Life is Strange 2, but then there's the other part thinking maybe they're not going to do that. So I'm curious, but I'm doing my best not to look at anything Life
Yeah.
is Strange because I'm scared. I don't want anything to be sort of spoiled. The only other thing that I have got on Life is Strange True Colors is so there's a character called Steph. I love Steph. And again, it's not really a spoiler because again, it's up to you what you choose. But basically, you have a choice with Alex as a love interest to either get with a guy called Ryan or a girl called Steph. I chose Steph because A, she's really cool and just like they connect from a very early episode. So there's also a side DLC called Steph Story. It's about 3 to 4 hours long. So I'm going to play that as well before moving on to double exposure. I think all the Life is Strange games have had this sort of at the end, like you had at the end of Before the Storm where Max and Chloe are kids. It takes you back to when they're children, and you do like a couple of hours. You obviously have the Adventures of Captain Spirit and Life is Strange 2. I don't, Andy, does anything in double exposure? Is there something like a bit of DLC? Can you remember at
I
all? Or
don't think so. Not that I
okay,
remember.
so it might be interesting maybe because they've done it for the first 3, 4 games. So it'd be interesting to see if that continues, but we'll see.
Just out of interest, the Reunion Metacritic is actually lower than Lost Records.
That is
Wow.
crazy.
So you will never be able to
Wow.
convince me to play these games.
That is
I think you should
crazy.
at least, if you're going to play any Welchy, play
I
the
know
first one. The first one
I know
is
the first two are meant to
incredible.
be good. Cool. Well, we'll obviously get your thoughts on double exposure when you played that, and obviously both of you
Yeah.
your full Reunion reviews as soon as well. Let's move on to what else you've been playing. Andy, have you played anything else other than Life is Strange Reunion?
I've only dabbled in some multiplayer, so we had friends over on Friday, I want to say. No, Saturday. Saturday we was playing like Fortnite and Fall Guys, and then I was playing some more Fortnite just before the podcast. So yeah,
Oh,
played one game of OG
he's
Fortnite.
getting back in. He's got the bug.
It's just dabbling. Played one game, got one dub. So and Beth played a game on Saturday. She also got a dub. Guess how many kills she got?
5.
Just to obviously give some backstory, Beth is terrible at games.
Yeah.
Like
I will
1?
say 2.
Stephen was correct with one
Okay.
kill. So she just hid the entire game, waited until the last, it was 1-on-1, and then obviously the last guy was quite bad and just ran towards her and died. So yeah, she got one dub kill.
I mean,
And
always win.
One kill dub. And that's it.
1 killed. And that was solos.
Yeah, solos. Yeah.
Was it just the last one? The last kill?
Yeah, she just killed the last person. She like literally hid the entire game and ran away from like any fights. And then was in a bush. And then this guy was like jumping around and she was just shooting at him from hiding in this bush. And eventually he was just running towards her and she was just shooting him as he was running towards her. So yeah.
Was that an OG?
No, my one was on OG. That was just on
Oh, like
Battle
the
Royale.
standard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But with no building.
Yeah, no building.
Yeah.
Yeah, we when I'm doing Fortnite, I'm normally doing 0 build. I
I
can't
will
be
never
bothered with
ever
the
play
whole.
build.
I can't
I've
deal
not
with
played
build.
it
I was
in a years, but
terrible at when it was just only build. So when they brought in 0 build, I was like happy days. Yeah, I wondered why because I did notice like you were on like loads of online games. I was like, are they playing Fortnite? Really? Like threw me off because I was playing it, I think, at the same time on Saturday, and then obviously it pops up saying like who is a part. It's like, dude, really? It like I thought, am I seeing this correctly? Have I got this right?
Yeah,
That
well,
now
already
makes
got
sense.
more dubs than you this year.
No, that's not the case.
Um, I've been playing more Resident Evil Requiem. You might have seen while I've been on PlayStation.
Yes.
I finished my second playthrough. Finished
Fucking
that
hell.
at around 6 hours 50, I think.
That's
Around
mental.
the 7 hours mark, and I was looking at it thinking I've still got to shave 3 hours off this for this fucking speed run. Second playthrough was really good. Obviously, I skipped a few cutscenes because I didn't need to see all of them. But I definitely watched the last ones again. Obviously, I
Yeah.
won't spoil anything, Andy, in case you ever do go back to it.
Yeah, right.
He won't.
But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. It was less scary, but there were still some moments that made me jump. There was a whole section, Stephen, of the Leon's main bit
Yeah.
outside in Raccoon City, which I didn't do the first time. Just didn't go to it. It's
Oh.
like the underground tunnels bit.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
never went there, so there was a few things that jumped out at me there. I was like, "You fuckers!"
Yeah. No,
Um,
I explored the underground. Yeah, there was a couple of bits. That's before you get to the whole like glass
yes,
section.
yes, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I went down that bit. Yeah.
that is basically why. Was it? Was it that? Basically, I had to get every collectible, and there was one over there that I'd missed.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was also a part in where was it? Oh, the actual police. Nah, that's not a spoiler for Andy. The police station.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
there was one particular room where I just missed. I didn't go into it, and there was four
Yeah.
fucking collectibles in there. And I was like, oh, man, I could have been so close to it. Anyway, I got all the collectibles. They're all done. I did the game without healing, so that's done. And I got another trophy, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, I got a few other like miscellaneous ones. So the lickers, you have to cut their tongue off. I did that, which is it's actually kind of a bullshit trophy because you have to have a certain weapon to do it. I didn't know that.
Uh,
And there was another miscellaneous one that I got. Basically, I'm close. So I
Ooh.
am also over halfway through my third playthrough of this game.
Oh my God, Jesus
So
Christ.
I have already started my speed run,
Wow.
and I am 1 hour and 50, I think 55 minutes in. Okay,
How quick do you have to complete it?
4 hours.
4, isn't it? Yeah, 4
Wow.
hours.
I'm 1 hour 55 in, and to give Stephen an idea of where I am, where would you think you would be in 1 hour 55?
So I imagine are you at your first or second Leon bit? So you've got all of the bits for the main door with Grace, and you're with Leon towards the church. I would imagine maybe.
I've just got to the police station.
What with Leon?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so once you've done the second playthrough that I did, and you've done it without healing and a few of the other things, you get a lot of points which you can use. I've now got unlimited ammo.
Yes, we spoke about it on our actual review that
Yeah.
to do it with the infinite ammo because
And
again
it
that
is
whole bit
fun
with
as
Grace.
fuck.
But I bet you just breezed through because everything in like that bit with Grey, you're just able to just literally just
I have the
murder.
Requiem. Everything is a one-hit kill.
Yeah,
And I killed the I can't remember what it's called, the fat thing.
the big dude.
He
Yeah,
didn't even get down the stairs. Like he was gone. And I have no collectibles to get. I've got nothing to worry about. The
Yeah.
guy in the kitchen, I just walked up to him and just killed him. Like I didn't even let him
Yeah.
look at me. Like it was that kind
Yeah.
of quick. It's super fun just going around. And I know it's silly because it's unrealistic now, but I've had the main playthrough. I've had the second playthrough, where it was obviously
Yeah.
easier, and now it's like fun just getting rid of everything as
And-
quick as I can and just flying
and
through
you
it.
know where everything is.
That's also the thing on a third play, and that's why I want to do it now, because I'd finished 2 playthroughs pretty quick back to back. I
Yeah.
now know where things are and what I've got to do and what path I've got to take. There was a few things where I was like, "Fuck, what have I got to do?" So I paused it, gone on a quick walk through, and gone, "Oh yeah, it's over there. I've missed that bit. I've
Yeah.
missed that bit."
At least you've got that as well. That if your mind does have a blank, just literally get up on YouTube and
And
see exactly where you got to
It's
go.
literally that. It's a blank. It's like, I know I need to get to this room.
Yeah,
I
but
know I
how do you
can't get in
do
there right
that?
now. What am I missing?
Yeah,
Oh yes, that thing in that room. Fine.
yeah.
Um, but it's a lot of fun, and Leon's part is obviously a lot of fun as well. Um, I am on track, according to what I'm checking online, to finish it sub 3 hours. Um,
Wow.
Wow.
so I am thoroughly enjoying it. I'll hopefully have it done. Well, I should have it done this week. There's no reason I shouldn't. Um, I wanted to get the speed run done before Pragmata comes out,
Yeah.
because once Pragmata's out, then we've got Invincible, we've got Saros. All of a
Yeah.
sudden,
Got to run of
I'm
games.
months away from my last playthrough, and that speed run becomes more difficult because I'm like, where have I got to go? Like, what am I doing? Like
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
But
So
after this, have you only got to then play it on the hardest difficulty?
correct. So
Yeah.
that's fine, because after this, I'll be able to unlock the RPG and
Yeah.
unlimited ammo on the RPG. So that hardest difficulty then becomes easier because I have the Requiem, every other gun I've got, and an
Yeah.
RPG which one shots everything.
That's what that's what everyone said. If you're going to do that, make sure you've got
I'm not here to
unlimited
play the
ammo.
hardest difficulty the right way. No.
No, no.
The game's tough. I just want to get the trophy. Um, so I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good that I'm definitely going to get the platinum one day. I won't get
Yeah.
it soon because once I've done this, well, unless I get the speed run done early this week and then start straight away, I go away next week with work. So then Pragmata's out. So I'm expecting to finish this speed run and then be like, okay, take a break now. I've beat it 3 times in less than 2
Yeah.
months.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
play.
crazy.
Let's wait for Pragmata. I'm very Capcom heavy. Once that game comes out, I'll be all over
Yeah.
Yeah.
Capcom.
Yeah.
But yeah, loving it. It's such a fantastic game. The more I play it, the more I love it. And I don't want to spoil things for Andy, but what I consider the scariest section of the game, Stephen, underground with the girl,
Mm.
much less scary when you've got the Requiem unlimited ammo.
Yeah, when you got unlimited ammo, I wouldn't say that
Yeah,
that is much of a problem. I
no,
actually kind of sit there and think that there are part. Even when I was playing Trick, I was like, I wish I was back playing Resident Evil Requiem again with the lights off. Sort of, it was so good. The only reason that I'm not doing that is just because again I've got loads of other games that I want
yeah,
to play. But one day I want to go back, and when I get to a point where I'm like going through trying to get platinums for games, that's definitely like top of my list to do one day. But it's a great experience.
yeah.
I just love also when I keep seeing sort of like TikToks and still people's first reaction to like one scene, I'm like, yeah, that's just one bit. You don't know what you've got to come, buddies.
Yeah.
Like, oh man,
It's funny, Andy, because obviously I've been streaming it, and
Yeah.
I'm now on the third playthrough, obviously, and I got to the bit that you got to, and
Okay.
both, I think it was Bigsy actually, or maybe it was both of them, Jack and Bigsy, just said this was the bit that Andy screamed and basically gave up.
the
I was like, yeah, fair enough.
bit where
It's scary.
it all ended.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
obviously I would recommend it, Andy, but again, there's lots of games coming out very, very soon. I've been playing a bit more Pokemon Picopia. I've just saw in Discord today, Jack's put that he's completed the fucking Pokedex on it, which is insane.
Oh, that's mental. Yeah.
So
I'm assuming that takes a lot of hard work to do.
it does on any
I
Pokemon
hearted it.
game. I don't know how it compares, but I imagine Jack's 70 to 80 hours into this game.
Wow.
So I think when it comes to Game of the Year at the end of the year, he'll have this.
Yeah.
It's hard to
It's
say
up
because there's
pretty
so many
high.
good games coming where it will fall.
Yeah.
But he obviously loves it a lot. The more I play it, I'm starting to get it now. There was once when I played with Jack, and he showed me his world, and he had like transmission lines and electricity going everywhere, and I was like, I don't know if this game's for me because I don't know if I can be bothered with all of this. Like he's made his island look cool, everything's electric powered, and I'm like, this seems a lot. And I've got to the point in
Yeah.
the game where it introduces that now, and it's
Yeah.
actually pretty simple. And I was like, oh fuck, I get it.
It
I'm
always
starting
looks
to like
it always
this.
looks overcomplicated, those games. When you look at them you think, ah, I'm not gonna get this or can't be
Yeah.
bothered to do all of that. But it's really the same as like Minecraft. You love Minecraft, so I can see like a Pokemon version of
Yes,
Minecraft
it is
essentially being
it is pretty similar in that sense. It's still not fully got me, but it's every time I play it now, I'm like, oh, okay, I like that. Okay, I'm liking this. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. I'm starting to get there. So I'm hoping I have a flight next week, which I will take it and I will play it probably for the most
Yeah.
extended period of time that I've got or had. And if that doesn't get me, then I probably have to admit this game's just not quite got me. I have a feeling it's going to get me. I got a feeling a few more sessions on it, it's going to be like, okay.
Yeah.
The problem is I'll come back from that trip and every game under the sun comes out. So
Yeah.
who knows? But that's basically what I've been playing. A little bit of Pokemon Leaf Green, not much. Stephen, I'm guessing it's been, other than Life is Strange, obviously, just Fortnite. Anything else?
Yeah, Fortnite, EFC, been doing that. They actually did do quite a cool promo for Ultimate, which I'm only dabbling in. But they brought out like cards of, I want to say it's like trophy stoppers. It's basically like top players holding like major trophies. So like they brought out
So
like
no
a Hazard
Arsenal
card.
players.
I was going to say, it's good that you like that one.
Sol Campbell. Campbell's got one.
Oh, let's go that
there.
far back. Fuck me.
So yeah, so I basically just treated myself to putting on some points, just to see if I could get a couple of them. I got the shittest one. I got like this Varley card, but it's all right. It's decent. I'm mainly playing Master Career Mode, but again, it's just like I play Ultimate Team, and I'll either have one game where I'll just blitz a guy, they'll quit, and then I'm like, I'm bored. Or like today, I played 3 games, but I rage quitted all 3 because I was 2-1 up, and then I lost 4-2 in the second half on all 3 accounts. I was like, this is fucking shit, fuck off. So it's kind of like I'm trying to think of like what other, if I'm not feeling Fortnite or AFC, kind of want like another like online game. If I'm not in
I guess it's a
a
shame that
campaign
Call of
mood.
Duty's so fucking shit this year.
I actually did play. I played a bit of Rainbow Six Siege yesterday. So I
Desperate
played a bit
times.
of Fortnite, bit of EFC, and I thought I'm going to give Rainbow Six Siege a go. Yeah, it was fucking shit. It was shit because I'm shit at it now. I used to be all right at it, but there was like the brand new mode where like you kept respawning, and I was like, that's not right. Because in Rainbow Six Siege, it's like a bit like Search and
Search
Destroy.
Destroy, yeah.
Once you're dead, that's it. And I couldn't even find it on like the menu. So I couldn't work out, a little bit like what people say when they go to Fortnite now, where it's too much. Like go back to the original Rainbow Six Siege. It's like just search, and then all of my loadouts have changed. So yeah, I kind of am itching to find
Not rematch.
something. Yeah, I did think that, but again, we play so much rematch, and now I've got the platinum. I've got nothing really to work towards. Like I like the idea of having something where I'm always trying to unlock stuff, and like the battle pass isn't
They've
exciting
never
for
really
rematch.
nailed their battle passes, no.
No, I mean to be fair, Fortnite. I've been playing a lot of Fortnite over the Easter weekend as well. I've had like loads of blitz victories, and me and Fred, we did get us. Well, we got an OG win because if you get a win over the next few days, you get like a glider. But it was this Marvel limited time mode that they're bringing back, which, to be honest, I have no idea what I'm doing in this mode. I'm just literally like you're paired with 3 other randoms, or if you've got like a party of 3, it has to be 4 players. And I'm just following around shooting stuff. And then both times I've won. First one, I got 2 because I don't really know what I did. I don't really know what I did to contribute to this win, but we've got a win here.
That's like most of the time, isn't it?
Shut up. But like me and my friend Jez earlier, we were playing a general OG game, and we came second because like the difference with sort of OG and normal battle royale, it's played at a much slower pace, and your loot isn't anywhere near as good as what you would get in normal battle royale. So whereas like in normal battle royale, I can basically run and gun. Sometimes I win, sometimes I won't. In OG, I have to be much more sort of measured because like if I just run and gun, the chances of getting absolutely wiped. I'm excluding Andy from this, so you know. But in terms of like, I've had so many games where if I had better loot, I probably would have won. And I always think I need the scar. The wins that I've always had, I've had like the classic scar in the game. So, and we were talking about this with friend Jose earlier. We were like, if you don't have the scar, it makes it really difficult. So yeah, as again we spoke about last week, I want to find something else. I'm debating whether to go back into GTA 5 online, but again, I've done so much of that. So yeah, that's kind of where I am right now with the multiplayer side, but mainly Fortnite and EFC.
Yeah. Cool. Any other final comments or something to talk about before we wrap up?
No.
No. I haven't played anything else. I don't think hasn't been really any gaming news recently, has there either? So obviously just waiting for Summer Games Fest now.
Yeah, Summer Games Fest in a couple months now, not actually that long. Oh, we did get one bit of news. Obviously, we are getting Gears of War E-Day information at Summer
Yeah,
Games Fest.
Yes.
yeah.
Xbox every year when they do their showcase, well, I say every year, since about 2022, I want to say, maybe 2023, they add on a special direct afterwards where it's just like
Yeah.
30 to 40 minutes on a single
Yeah.
game. So I think it was Starfield the first time, which I'm sure released in 23, so it must have been 2023. Then they did Call of Duty, Black Ops, the good one, 6.
6.
Yeah.
And then last year was Outer Worlds 2. And this year it's Gears of War E-Day. So I am fucking hyped because I never actually watched those directs after them because I'm like, all right, Call of Duty
Not games you
is
really care
cool,
about so
but I know
much.
what I'm getting with that. Outer Worlds 2 I didn't need to know about. And Starfield, I loved it when I played it, but I didn't need to watch it all. I'll be
Yeah.
watching Gears of War E-Day like a hawk. And
Yeah.
also the positive thing about that is normally, at least in those other three times, those games came out the year they showcased them like that,
Yeah,
which
if
means
they're
it
doing a
should be
direct like that,
coming this year.
it's obviously ready to be released if they're going to be showing off that
Yeah.
much.
I can't
Yeah.
So yeah, be
fucking
interesting.
believe it. I'm so hyped. That is the best news they could have done because I kind of expected them to do Fable again because it's a
Yeah.
major release for them. But I
Yeah.
guess they consider that done in
Wait,
January.
what's the release date for Fable?
Didn't have it. They
Oh, so
will.
Isn't
are
it?
we still waiting for that then?
It's
Is it
coming
like
this
late
year, but they've not
late
said a date.
26?
Yeah,
Is that kind of the thing they're
but
saying?
I think given they spoke about it first, I'm torn because obviously they both want to avoid GTA. We know that now. So you got kind of that September, October, or August, September, October time
Yeah.
for them to release.
Yeah.
I'm torn on thinking that Fable will come first, then Gears, or is Gears so ready and this direct is so well placed that at the state of whatever they call their one, the Xbox showcase, they're going to be like, and Gears of War E-Day is coming next week or today or whatever, like very, very, very
Another shadow
soon.
drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of torn. I don't think they'll shadow drop it because by the time you've shadow dropped it, you don't need to then talk about it for 40 minutes. It's just, but you basically say,
No.
just play it.
Could it be
Yeah, true.
an August release potentially?
Potentially, it's a June showcase, so they could say it's coming in August. Here's everything you need to know about it. And then I think we have to get the Fable date of this showcase, and they'll be like, and that's coming in the early October.
Because isn't Wolverine September, isn't it? Late September.
Yes.
So
Yes.
they either would do before Wolverine or after. So like I'm thinking either August or October for Fable.
I don't think they'll care about Wolverine.
No, but it's gonna be big in terms of you've got Wolverine just before then GTA 6 in November.
Yeah, but I think they won't mind releasing Gears at the same time as Wolverine if they need to.
It depends on their strategy with Gears. We don't know whether that's PlayStation as well yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Obviously, with
If
the new leadership, it sounds like
Yeah.
they're against that
I just
idea.
think at the
hope not.
moment, if you think of like releases, you've got at the moment nothing really massively hitting in August or October. You've got September, November as the big ones. So it would make sense
Yeah.
for one of those two to drop either side.
Yeah, you've got Marvel Token at early August, but they definitely won't care about that as a fighting game.
No.
I think Gears makes sense for like a mid to late August
Yeah.
or Fable. Doesn't really matter which.
I was
way around.
thinking like when Mafia dropped. I know it's like I'm not saying it's on the same ballpark, but that was I think that dropped sort of the third week of August. So then it gives you sort of you're in the right at the peak of summer period, and then that would give everybody at least a good month before then Wolverine came out.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had to hunch around about that sort of time.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Xbox is going to have a great showcase. Well, should have a great showcase with Fable and Gears at least.
Yeah.
Obviously, Forza would have already been and gone by that point, but
Yeah.
they need to talk
That's
about
the
Halo
other-
as well. When's Halo coming? I can't remember when Halo's coming out.
No one
Isn't
cares
that-
about Halo.
Wow.
That's not coming out this year, is it?
The
Or is it-
remaster, the remake of 1 is, yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh,
And that is coming to
okay.
PlayStation.
I'm more excited for Halo than Fable personally
Oh, I
for
was going
the
to say
Halo
Gears
one
then. I was
remake.
going to say we have to have
No,
a
no, no, no.
conversation.
But speaking of Forza, I actually think when I'm not doing like my single player games, and if I'm not in the mood for Fortnite or EFC, I think I'm going to do a bit more Forza Horizon 5
Five.
because
Yeah.
I've still got that, and I've only done like 2 to 3 hours. But that is technically a game which it's not really like story driven focus. But I'm also playing a lot of Gran Turismo 7 because I've got my actual car in the game. So I keep jumping if I want to do a racing game. I now can't work out because I've now got back into Gran Turismo. I'm like, which fucking one do I
Yeah.
pick? It is honestly, it is jaw dropping to drive your actual car that you have in real life.
In the
Like
game.
it blows my mind, and the detail is insane. So when you go to sort of the view of inside, I was like, oh my god, it's like that's what I look like when I'm driving to work all the time. So yeah, there's some options, but equally, I'm buzzing for Pragmata because I will stop Life is Strange to play Pragmata for sure, just like I did with Resident Evil.
It's interesting because probably not, but there's a chance when we record this next week that we have reviews of the game because it comes out next
Yeah,
Friday
we
or
will. Comes out
Thursday.
next Friday.
Yes,
But we're
17th of
recording next
April.
Monday, so it's probably not going to be. It
Oh, you mean
depends.
us personally?
Oh, even critics. Critics that sometimes the reviews drop 2 days before the game launches. It's
Yeah.
we're
Yeah, you might
So
get.
we're recording
it would,
next Monday.
yeah.
The game doesn't come out
So
until
it'd be what?
next Friday. So it's 4 days. 4 days before.
Not this
So it,
Friday, coming the following
yeah,
Friday.
I think
So
it's
you
either
still
going
got
to
2 weeks till it
be.
comes out.
Yeah, I think it's either going to be. It could be early if they're very confident about the game, but I think they're probably going to drop 1 or 2 days after we do our recording.
Yeah, I think like Tuesday, Wednesday, like is probably
Yeah,
when you're first going to hit sort of the reviews for that.
but
I
it's
would
not long
say.
now. It's not long. It's
No,
No,
it's not.
and
Yeah.
Pragmata's always been the. This is when it starts. I think I put in the
Yeah.
Discord in the next 10 weeks. We've got 7 reviews starting today
yeah,
with Andy's Life is Strange reunion.
Yeah.
Um,
I was literally thinking earlier, I was like, obviously we do our top 10, don't we, game of the year. I was thinking like, I literally only played Reanimal and obviously started Reunion. I was like, feels like I haven't done anything yet, but obviously I
all
know we've got a
coming.
big surge of, yeah.
it is. Yeah, it is
You've
absolutely
played
coming for sure.
an hour of Requiem. You can put that in your top 10.
Yeah. Based on that 1 hour.
Cool. Well, that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Late Night Gamer podcast. Let us know what your thoughts are on Life is Strange Reunion, if you've played it, or True Colors from Stephen's review. Drop your thoughts in the comments or tag us on socials at the Late Night Pods. We'd love to hear from you, or you can also join our Discord using the link in the description to be able to get your messages in before we record our podcast. If you enjoyed the episode, please make sure to follow and subscribe wherever you are listening. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next episode. Speaking of which, next time we will be ranking the best video game developers. So you'll not want to miss that one. It's all like a tier list one like we did for the best PlayStation games a few weeks ago. So that should be fun. I will probably this week post the selected developers in Discord so people can send in their own suggestions beforehand, which should be fun for everyone. Until then, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. I have been your host, Welchy, joined as always by my co-hosts, Andy.
Thank you as always, guys. It's been a pleasure. And hopefully you'll get my full thoughts on Reunion at some point.
And Stephen.
Yeah, been a pleasure as always, and yeah, looking forward to talk about more Life is Strange and as we go up to Pragmata, exciting times ahead.
Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time.